Well, I'd never met anyone quite like her. I remember I called Tyler and I said he's going to have to find talent somewhere else. And whatever opening he thought she would fill, that was not going to work. And Tyler was trying to coach me down because he said that she was way out of my league. He's still right.
Everybody thought the drama around Erika Kirk had already reached its breaking point. But nobody, and I mean nobody, was prepared for what just resurfaced. Because this time, the person speaking out isn't some random creator online, not a gossip account, not even a political commentator. It's someone much closer to the situation. Someone from inside the family. And the second she spoke, the internet went into complete meltdown. Charlie Kirk's own sister is now being linked to explosive claims about Erika, and at the center of this entire controversy is a wedding video people thought had been forgotten forever. Yeah. A wedding video. But according to people online, this clip changes everything. Because once viewers started re-watching the footage frame by frame, they began noticing things they completely missed the first time. Strange interactions. Awkward moments. Expressions that suddenly looked very different now that all these accusations are exploding online. And now social media is asking one terrifying question. Was the truth hiding in plain sight this whole time? What makes this even crazier is that the resurfaced footage allegedly contradicts parts of the public narrative Erika has pushed for years. And once those clips started spreading, people immediately began connecting them to the bigger accusations already surrounding her. The timing, the relationships, the sudden rise, the power shifts behind the scenes. Everything started looking way more suspicious to viewers who already believed something wasn't adding up. But here's where the story takes a shocking turn. Because insiders are now claiming Charlie's sister didn't just accidentally bring attention to this. According to viral speculation, she allegedly knew exactly what releasing attention toward this footage would do. And if that's true, then this isn't just family drama anymore. This is a full-blown exposure campaign. But trust me, the wedding video is only the beginning. Because once people started digging deeper into what was happening behind the scenes during that marriage, they uncovered details that are now making the entire internet question whether this relationship was ever what it seemed in the first place. For a long time, people looked at Erika Kirk and saw the perfect political wife. Elegant. Composed. Supportive. The kind of woman who always seemed calm no matter how intense things got around her. But now, that image is being ripped apart piece by piece, and the person helping fuel that destruction is someone nobody expected to enter the conversation, a member of Charlie Kirk's own family. And once old wedding footage resurfaced online, the internet started looking at this marriage very differently. Because according to people digging through the clips, there were signs from the very beginning that something about this relationship felt off. Now before we get into the wedding video itself, you need to understand why this story has exploded so hard online. This didn't happen in a vacuum. For months now, Erika has been surrounded by controversy after controversy. Allegations about inconsistencies in her past. Questions about her pageant history. Claims that her rise to power inside Charlie's empire happened way too fast to be natural. And every time one accusation started dying down, another one appeared. But the biggest reason people are paying attention now is because of how quickly Erika's life changed once she entered Charlie's world. Think about it. Charlie wasn't just some random internet personality. He was one of the most recognizable conservative political figures in America, a rising powerhouse with massive influence, millions of followers, and connections everywhere. But despite all of that public confidence, people close to him often described him as socially inexperienced, reserved, focused, almost isolated from normal dating culture. And then suddenly, Erika appears. A former pageant contestant with media training, camera confidence, and experience navigating elite social circles. To supporters, it looked like a perfect love story. To critics, it looked almost too perfect. And now, years later, people are going back and reanalyzing everything. Especially after resurfaced interviews started contradicting parts of Erika's public narrative. For years, Erika reportedly described pageantry as something she accidentally stumbled into, something that was never part of her original goals. But old clips and photos tell a different story. Suddenly, internet investigators began uncovering evidence suggesting she had been involved in pageants much earlier than previously claimed. And once people realized that, the questions started multiplying fast. Why downplay it? Why change the timeline? What else wasn't fully accurate? Then came the resurfaced wedding footage. And this is where the internet really lost control. At first glance, the video looked normal. A smiling couple. A glamorous ceremony. Family celebrating. But once viewers began slowing clips down and analyzing interactions frame by frame, social media became convinced there was tension hidden beneath the surface. People pointed to moments where Charli allegedly looked nervous. Others focused on Erika's expressions during certain speeches. Some even claimed family members appeared uncomfortable during parts of the ceremony. Now, to be clear, none of that proves anything. But online? Perception becomes reality very quickly. And once the speculation machine starts moving, it becomes almost impossible to stop. Especially when Charli's sister became connected to the resurfacing of these clips. That changed everything. Because now people weren't just hearing criticism from outsiders anymore. They believed cracks might be forming inside the family itself. And once that idea spread online, the theories became completely unhinged. Some users started claiming Erika strategically positioned herself inside Charli's life long before the public knew about their relationship. Others pointed toward her background in pageantry and media appearances as proof she always wanted fame and influence. Then came another layer to the story that made things even more explosive. People started revisiting Erika's connections, career moves, and sudden rise after tragedy struck Charli's organization. Critics argued her transition into leadership happened unusually fast. Supporters argued she was simply carrying on Charli's legacy. But online audiences weren't satisfied with simple explanations anymore. They wanted hidden meanings, secret motives, bigger conspiracies. And the internet always finds a way to turn uncertainty into chaos. Meanwhile, clips from old interviews resurfaced showing Erika openly talking about dreams of fame, Hollywood ambitions, and wanting bigger opportunities after pageants. That alone wouldn't normally be controversial. But in this context, people started treating those comments like evidence. Suddenly, every old statement sounded suspicious. Every coincidence became proof. And every resurfaced clip fueled another viral theory thread. But the wedding video remained the centerpiece of the entire storm. Because according to viral posts, there was one particular moment in the footage that completely changed public perception. A moment during a family interaction. A quick expression. A reaction that lasted barely seconds. Yet once social media isolated it and replayed it over and over again, people became convinced it revealed underlying tension nobody noticed before. And from there, the narrative spiraled completely out of control. TikTok creators started making breakdown videos. YouTube commentators uploaded hour-long analyses. X-users created giant timelines connecting Erika's pageant past, her political rise, and her relationship with Charli into one massive conspiracy-filled storyline. And the more viral it became, the harder it was for anyone involved to escape the spotlight. What makes this even more intense is that both sides of the internet now believe they are uncovering hidden truth. Supporters of Erika say she's being unfairly targeted by obsessive internet speculation. They argue people are twisting innocent moments into sinister narratives just because controversy gets clicks. But critics, they believe the resurfaced footage confirms suspicions they've had for years. And once audiences emotionally commit to a theory online, facts almost stop mattering. That's what makes this situation so dangerous. Because now this isn't just about a wedding video anymore. It's about trust, image, power, and the terrifying possibility that public perception can completely reshape reality in real time. But the craziest part? According to insiders, the resurfaced footage may not even be the biggest thing waiting to come out. Because behind the scenes, rumors are spreading that additional clips, unseen moments, and private details connected to the marriage are still circulating privately among creators and commentators. And if those clips leak publicly? This entire story could explode to a level nobody involved is prepared for. Because right now, one question is hanging over everything. Was this really a fairy tale political marriage? Or was something much darker happening behind the scenes the whole time? The moment the resurfaced wedding footage went viral, everything changed for Erika Kirk. Not slowly. Not quietly. Instantly. Within hours, clips from the ceremony were everywhere. TikTok edits. Twitter threads. YouTube breakdowns. Slow-motion zoom ins. People were literally analyzing facial expressions frame by frame like they were solving a criminal investigation. And the craziest part? The more people watched, the more suspicious they became. One particular clip exploded harder than all the others combined. It showed Charlie Kirk during part of the ceremony looking unusually tense while Erika smiled calmly beside him. It only lasted a few seconds, but online? That was enough. Suddenly, creators began building entire theories around those few moments. Look at his face. He looks nervous. She looks too controlled. This doesn't feel genuine. And once those narratives started spreading, there was no stopping them. Because the internet loves mystery. Especially when it involves power, politics, and hidden motives. But then came the moment that truly detonated the entire situation. A creator posted an alleged timeline connecting Erika's early pageant years, her Hollywood ambitions, and her eventual relationship with Charlie into what they called a calculated social climb. The thread went nuclear overnight. Millions of views. Tens of thousands of reposts. And suddenly, everyone online became an investigator. People started revisiting old interviews where Erika spoke about wanting fame after pageants, dreams of Hollywood, reality TV aspirations, bigger opportunities. Normally, comments like that wouldn't mean much. But now? People treated them like confessions. And once that happened, everything Erika ever said started sounding suspicious to critics. Then came another twist. Someone resurfaced old pageant photos showing Erika participating years earlier than she had publicly implied. That detail alone sent conspiracy communities into absolute meltdown. Because now the argument wasn't just she wanted fame. It became, what else has been hidden? And trust me, things got ugly fast. Supporters of Erika accused critics of creating insane conspiracy theories around harmless details. But her critics didn't care anymore. To them, every inconsistency became another piece of a giant puzzle. And the deeper people dug, the more chaotic the internet became. Then a former acquaintance allegedly entered the conversation. No face. No verified identity. Just an anonymous account claiming to have known people connected to Erika during her pageant years. And according to this account, Erika's ambitions were never a secret. The account claimed she was always focused on influence, connections, and getting close to powerful circles. Again, no proof. But online? Proof almost becomes irrelevant once a story catches fire emotionally. Especially when audiences want to believe it. And that's exactly what happened here. Then the conversation took a much darker turn. People started focusing on what happened after Charlie's death. Because according to viral posts, Erika's rise inside the organization happened too smoothly for some viewers. Critics claimed her transition into leadership seemed unusually prepared. Supporters argued she was simply continuing Charlie's mission during a tragic moment. But social media wasn't interested in balanced takes anymore. It wanted drama. And suddenly, old clips resurfaced of Erika discussing event numbers, merch sales, and organizational success shortly after tragedy struck. To supporters, it was professionalism under pressure. To critics, it looked cold, calculated, detached. And once those clips went viral, the internet exploded again. People started saying, she moved on too fast. Others defended her. She was trying to hold everything together. But then came the first major twist nobody expected. Because right in the middle of all this chaos, attention shifted away from Erika for a moment, and toward Charlie's inner circle. Specifically, people began questioning who around Charlie may have influenced the relationship from the very beginning. Names started circulating online. Friends, associates, people who allegedly encouraged the relationship early on. And according to viral speculation, some individuals close to Charlie reportedly pushed the idea that Erika was perfect for him almost immediately. That detail changed everything. Because now conspiracy communities had a brand new theory. What if this relationship wasn't random at all? What if Charlie had been intentionally guided toward Erika from the start? That theory spread like wildfire. Suddenly, clips of Charlie talking about his inexperience in dating resurfaced online. People started comparing his personality to Erika's polished pageant background and media confidence. The contrast looked dramatic, and online audiences became obsessed with it. This looked strategic. He was too inexperienced. She knew exactly what she was doing. Those comments flooded every platform. Meanwhile, Erika reportedly stayed mostly silent publicly. And honestly, that silence only made things worse. Because when controversy reaches this level, silence doesn't calm people down. It makes them speculate more. Every hour without a response created another theory, another rumor, another viral clip. And then came the leaked message. Or at least, what people claimed was a leaked message. A screenshot began circulating allegedly showing a private conversation between individuals discussing Erika's ambitions years before she met Charlie. Nobody could verify if it was real. But by that point, it almost didn't matter. The screenshot spread everywhere anyway. And once people emotionally accepted it as possible, the damage was already done. Now the internet wasn't asking if Erika wanted influence. It was asking how far she was willing to go to get it. That's how fast narratives spiral online. But just when it looked like Erika was losing control of public perception completely, the story flipped again. Because a group of users started pointing out something very important. They argued the internet was becoming obsessed with turning Erika into a villain while ignoring the possibility that people were twisting unrelated details into one giant conspiracy. And honestly, that argument started gaining traction fast. Some creators began calling out the speculation as dangerous. Others accused commentators of exploiting grief and tragedy for views. Suddenly, the internet became divided again. One side saying, "The receipts are too strong to ignore." The other saying, "This has become a witch hunt." And that's when the pressure exploded onto Charlie's family. Because once people believed family members were involved in resurfacing clips and fueling speculation, everything got even more personal. Now the public wasn't just dissecting a marriage. They were dissecting an entire family dynamic. And insiders claimed that behind the scenes, things became incredibly tense. According to rumors, some people close to the situation were furious about old footage resurfacing publicly. Others allegedly believed the truth needed to come out no matter how messy it became. And right in the middle of all this chaos, another clip surfaced. A very short one, but devastating. It allegedly showed a private interaction at the wedding reception that viewers interpreted as deeply awkward between Erika and one of Charlie's relatives. Again, nobody knew the context. But context didn't matter anymore. The internet had already decided this story was bigger than a wedding video. Bigger than politics. Bigger than gossip. Now it felt like a hidden power struggle exploding into public view. And trust me, the next twist made things even worse. Because according to people close to the situation, there may be one piece of footage that has not leaked publicly yet. A clip insiders claim could completely destroy one side of this story forever. And if that footage ever surfaces, nothing about this controversy will ever be the same again. At this point, the internet wasn't just watching the situation around Erika Kirk anymore. It was consuming it. Every hour brought a new theory. Every repost created another wave of chaos. And the deeper people dug into the resurfaced wedding footage and Charlie's inner circle, the more intense the entire situation became. But nobody was prepared for what happened next. Because late one night, a brand new clip suddenly appeared online. No warning. No explanation. Just a grainy piece of footage uploaded anonymously with a caption that instantly sent social media into full meltdown. Watch the people in the background. That was it. And within minutes, millions of people were replaying the clip over and over again trying to figure out what they missed. The footage allegedly showed a moment during the wedding reception where several guests appeared visibly uncomfortable during an interaction involving Erika and a member of Charlie Kirk's family. Now to a normal person, it looked harmless. But online investigators? They became obsessed. People started slowing the footage down frame by frame, zooming in on reactions, lip-reading conversations, tracking body language. And suddenly, an entirely new theory exploded across the internet. That tensions inside the family may have existed long before the public ever knew. That theory spread so fast it completely changed the tone of the conversation. Because now people weren't just questioning Erika anymore. They were questioning the entire relationship dynamic behind closed doors. And then came the shocking reveal that pushed this story into another universe entirely. A creator uploaded what they claimed was an archived interview clip connected to Erika's earlier social circle, and according to viewers, the clip painted a very different picture than the image she publicly presented later. Suddenly, old discussions about fame, Hollywood dreams, pageants, networking, and influence all resurfaced at once. The internet started piecing together a narrative that Erika had been carefully crafting an image for years. Again, none of this was confirmed. But confirmation barely mattered anymore. Public perception had already taken over. And once the audience emotionally commits to a story online, reality becomes secondary. Then things got even worse. Because commentary channels started bringing up Erika's rapid rise after Charlie's death again, only this time, they tied it directly to the resurfaced wedding footage. That combination created absolute chaos. Creators began asking questions like, how was everything already so organized? Why did the transition happen so fast? Who was really preparing behind the scenes? And once those questions started trending, the conspiracy theories became completely unhinged. Some people began claiming the marriage itself had always been strategic. Others insisted Erika was simply being demonized because she stepped into a position of power after tragedy. But right in the middle of all this, another unexpected figure entered the conversation. Someone connected to Charlie's extended network allegedly liked several posts criticizing Erika before quickly removing the activity. That tiny action exploded online. People immediately assumed it meant something deeper. This proves the family tension is real. They are finally exposing her. Something happened behind closed doors. Those comments flooded social media overnight. And while nobody involved publicly confirmed anything, the silence itself became part of the drama. Because every unanswered rumor created more speculation. Then came the biggest escalation yet. A massive viral thread appeared connecting multiple resurfaced moments from Erika's past into one giant timeline. Pageants, Hollywood ambitions, political connections, social climbing allegations, marriage timing, leadership transition. Everything was woven together into one dramatic narrative that looked almost cinematic. The thread gained millions of views in hours. And once that happened, mainstream audiences started paying attention too. People who had never even heard of the controversy suddenly got pulled in. Reaction channels exploded. Live streams started dissecting the timeline in real time. Some creators even claimed they were receiving anonymous emails from people allegedly connected to the situation. Again, impossible to verify. But by this point, the internet didn't care. It wanted the next twist. And then, the shocking reveal finally dropped. According to several viral creators, there was allegedly another unreleased section of wedding footage being privately circulated among insiders. Not publicly available. Not leaked completely. But heavily discussed behind the scenes. And what people claimed was in that footage completely changed the energy online. The rumor suggested the clip allegedly showed a tense interaction involving Erika, Charlie, and someone from his family shortly before the ceremony. No audio. No context. Just enough to make the internet lose its mind. Because if true, it would completely destroy the public image of the perfect wedding. Immediately, social media went into detective mode again. Some users claimed the clip proved family members had concerns from the beginning. Others argued people were projecting their own theories onto meaningless moments. But one thing became obvious. The controversy had evolved far beyond gossip. Now it felt like a full-scale public investigation. And honestly, that's when things became dangerous. Because once internet culture decides someone is either a mastermind or a victim, there's almost no middle ground left. Meanwhile, supporters of Erika began fighting back aggressively. They accused creators of exploiting grief, tragedy, and edited clips purely for views and engagement. Some even called the conspiracy theories misogynistic and obsessive. And that backlash created another divide online. Now the internet had split into three camps. People convinced Erika was hiding something. People convinced she was being unfairly targeted. And people who didn't know what to believe anymore. But just when it looked like the chaos had peaked, one final reveal pushed everything over the edge. A resurfaced interview clip started circulating where Erika openly talked about how pageants could open doors to entertainment, influence, and major opportunities. In another context, those comments would sound completely normal. But in this situation, the internet treated them like hidden clues. Suddenly, every ambition sounded calculated. Every career move sounded strategic. Every coincidence sounded intentional. And the scariest part? The more people watched the clips, the more believable the theories started feeling. That's how powerful narrative becomes online. And according to insiders, the people closest to the situation are now terrified about what could leak next. Because apparently, there are still unseen videos. Still private conversations. Still hidden details the public hasn't seen yet. And if even half the rumors are true, then this controversy is nowhere near finished. In fact, the next leak could completely destroy one side's credibility forever. And right now, nobody knows who's about to get exposed next. By this point, the controversy surrounding Erika Kirk had completely escaped the internet gossip world and exploded into something much bigger. This wasn't just a viral story anymore. It became a full-blown online war. And the reactions? Absolutely brutal. The second the resurfaced wedding clips, timeline threads, and family tension theories started spreading, social media platforms turned into chaos zones overnight. TikTok creators were posting hourly updates. YouTube live streams started pulling huge numbers. Twitter, X, was flooded with side-by-side comparisons, evidence threads, and emotional debates that lasted for hours. And the craziest part? Almost nobody was neutral anymore. People picked sides fast. One side became fully convinced that Erika had carefully crafted her public image for years, and that the resurfaced footage exposed cracks people ignored for too long. The other side argued this had crossed the line into obsession, claiming people were twisting harmless details into dangerous conspiracy theories for clicks and engagement. And honestly, both sides were getting louder by the hour. One viral post read, "The wedding footage changed everything. Y'all ignored the signs." Another fired back, "No. The internet just decided to villainize a woman because speculation gets views." That tweet alone reportedly pulled hundreds of thousands of interactions in a single day. Then the reaction channels jumped in. And that's when the situation exploded even harder. Some creators claimed the resurfaced clips confirmed long-running rumors they'd heard privately for years. Others openly mocked the conspiracy theories and accused creators of turning tragedy into entertainment. But controversy drives views. And everybody knew it. So more creators kept piling on. Soon, even people outside political commentary spaces started reacting. Lifestyle influencers, celebrity gossip accounts, former pageant commentators. Everyone suddenly had an opinion. And once public figures started subtly weighing in, the internet completely lost control. One influencer allegedly posted, "Sometimes the people closest to the story know more than the public ever will." People immediately assumed it was aimed at Charlie's family. Another creator uploaded a dramatic breakdown titled, "The Wedding Clip They Don't Want You to See." That video went massively viral within hours. Meanwhile, supporters of Charlie Kirk began defending his legacy aggressively online. Some argued he was being dragged into reckless speculation unfairly. Others questioned why private moments from his wedding were suddenly becoming internet entertainment years later. And honestly, that argument started resonating with a lot of people. Because even viewers who found the theories interesting began asking, "Are we going too far?" But online culture rarely slows down once emotions take over. Instead, the reactions became even more intense. Then came the industry response. Several commentators within political media spaces reportedly began distancing themselves from the chaos publicly. Not directly defending Erika. Not fully attacking her either. Just avoiding the situation entirely. And that silence became suspicious to audiences too. Because whenever influential people suddenly stop speaking, the internet assumes there's a reason. Some users claimed insiders were terrified of becoming involved. Others argue people simply didn't want their platforms dragged into a toxic controversy spiraling out of control. But behind the scenes, rumors claimed tensions were growing fast. According to online speculation, some individuals connected to Charlie's wider network were allegedly furious about the resurfaced wedding footage becoming viral content. Others reportedly believed the public deserved answers. And once whispers about internal division started spreading, everything escalated again. Now the audience wasn't just watching Erika anymore. They were watching everyone around her. Analyzing likes, tracking follows, monitoring who stayed silent, who unfollowed who avoided mentioning the controversy completely. It became internet paranoia at its peak. And then came the fan wars. That's when things turned truly toxic. Supporters of Erika started accusing critics of misogyny, harassment, and coordinated smears. Critics responded by saying they were simply connecting obvious dots. Comment sections became battlefields. Live stream chats turned chaotic. People who disagreed started exposing each other's old tweets, old clips, even personal information in some cases. The situation became so intense that some creators reportedly began deleting videos out of fear of backlash from both sides. But while public reactions were chaotic, the private industry reactions may have been even worse. Because according to multiple viral rumors, people behind the scenes allegedly started worrying about reputational fallout connected to the controversy. Some feared association with the theories. Others feared being accused of covering things up. And in today's online culture, either accusation can destroy careers. Then came another shocking moment. A former pageant commentator allegedly hinted during a live stream that the public had only seen a fraction of what insiders supposedly knew. That single comment exploded online instantly. People immediately started demanding, "What else is there? What footage hasn't leaked yet? What are they hiding?" And once audiences believe hidden information exists, the obsession becomes impossible to stop. Meanwhile, creators kept feeding the fire daily. New thumbnails, new exclusive claims, new body language analysis, new hidden clues. Every tiny detail became content. Even harmless moments were suddenly treated like secret evidence. That's how massive this controversy had become. But through all the noise, one thing became painfully obvious. Nobody trusted anybody anymore. Not the creators. Not the commentators. Not the rumors. Not even the clips themselves. Every side accused the other of manipulation. And honestly, that uncertainty made the story even more addictive to audiences. Because people weren't just watching for answers anymore. They were watching for the next twist. And according to insiders, that next twist may already be coming. Because whispers are now spreading that another unseen piece of footage, something much more serious than the wedding clips, could leak publicly very soon. And if that happens, everything we've seen so far might look small compared to what's coming next. Just when the internet thought this story had finally reached its peak, everything changed again. Because late one night, while people were still arguing over the resurfaced wedding footage, the timeline threads, and the family tension theories surrounding Erika Kirk, a brand new rumor suddenly exploded online. And this one? It terrified both sides. According to several viral accounts, there is allegedly a final piece of footage connected to Charlie Kirk and Erika that has never been publicly released. Not leaked. Not uploaded. Not discussed openly until now. But insiders claim people behind the scenes have seen it. And if the rumors are true, this clip could completely change the way the public sees everything. Now nobody knows exactly what's in the footage. That's what makes it so dangerous. Some claim it allegedly shows a private interaction involving Charlie, Erika, and someone close to the family shortly before the wedding. Others insist it has nothing to do with the wedding at all, and instead involves conversations that happened much later behind closed doors. But once speculation started spreading, the internet completely lost its mind. Because suddenly, everyone became convinced that this was the missing piece. The thing that would finally explain all the tension, all the rumors, all the strange reactions people now think they noticed in old clips. And once that idea took hold online, nothing could stop it. Creators immediately started uploading emergency live streams. TikTok pages posted dramatic countdowns. Commentators began hinting they'd heard things privately, but couldn't say more publicly yet. Even people who had stayed neutral throughout the controversy suddenly started paying attention again. Because if there's one thing the internet loves more than drama, it's the idea of a hidden truth waiting to explode. And then came the moment that made this even scarier. An anonymous account posted what appeared to be a blurry screenshot allegedly taken from the unreleased footage. No confirmation. No proof. But it spread everywhere. People started enhancing the image. Zooming in. Comparing outfits. Trying to identify locations. Within hours, the screenshot became one of the most discussed images online. Some users claimed it proved tensions inside the family were real all along. Others argued the image was fake and intentionally planted to fuel engagement. But honestly, at this point, truth barely mattered anymore. The audience had already become emotionally invested in the mystery itself. And that's what makes situations like this spiral completely out of control. Meanwhile, supporters of Erika began pushing back harder than ever. They accused creators of exploiting tragedy and manufacturing conspiracy theories out of edited clips and rumors. Some argued the resurfaced footage had been manipulated to create fake tension that never actually existed. Others claimed the public was unfairly turning ambition, pageantry, and media training into something sinister simply because the internet loves building villains. And for a moment, that defense actually started working. People began questioning whether the entire controversy had gone too far. Whether creators were crossing ethical lines for views. Whether audiences were becoming addicted to speculation instead of facts. But just as the conversation started shifting, another twist dropped. A creator claimed they had privately spoken to someone connected to Charlie's inner circle. And according to this alleged source, there were major disagreements behind the scenes long before the public ever noticed anything. Again, no proof. But after weeks of viral theories, audiences were primed to believe almost anything. Especially when every new rumor seemed to connect perfectly with older speculation. Then came the detail that really shook people. The alleged source reportedly claimed the resurfaced wedding footage wasn't leaked accidentally. That's right. According to the rumor, someone wanted the public to see it. And once that theory hit social media, everything exploded again. Because now people weren't just asking, what happened? They were asking, who is controlling the narrative? Was somebody inside the family trying to send a message? Was someone connected to Charlie quietly exposing hidden tensions? Or was the entire thing being strategically amplified online by creators chasing views and chaos? Nobody knew anymore. And honestly, that uncertainty became the most powerful part of the story. Because every side now looked suspicious. Every silence felt intentional. Every resurfaced clip felt calculated. And the deeper people fell into the rabbit hole, the harder it became to separate reality from speculation. Meanwhile, creators continued fueling the frenzy daily. Hidden clues, secret body language, unseen footage, insider leaks. Every upload made the mystery feel bigger, more dangerous, more cinematic. And the scariest part? The audience didn't want resolution anymore. They wanted escalation. They wanted the next twist, the next leak, the next shocking reveal. That's how addictive internet controversies become once millions of people emotionally attach themselves to competing narratives. But according to whispers now spreading behind the scenes, the biggest reveal may not have happened yet. Because several creators are hinting that more private footage much more serious than the wedding clips, could allegedly surface soon. And if that happens, this entire controversy could shift from internet speculation into something far more damaging for everyone involved. Reputations could collapse. Relationships could fracture publicly. And people who stayed silent until now might finally be forced to speak. But here's the most terrifying part of all. What if the internet has already gone too far? What if innocent moments have been transformed into conspiracy simply because audiences desperately wanted a hidden story to believe in? Or what if all these resurfaced clips really are pieces of something bigger that's only now starting to come into focus? Right now, nobody knows. And that uncertainty is exactly why this controversy refuses to die. Because until the rumored footage either leaks or gets debunked, the speculation will only keep growing. The theories will keep spreading. And the internet will keep digging deeper and deeper searching for answers. So now we're left with one final question. When the next piece finally drops, will it expose the truth? Or completely destroy what little trust is left in this entire story? Now, after everything we just talked about, I genuinely want to hear what you think. Because this story has officially reached a point where the internet is completely split down the middle. Do you believe Erika Kirk is being unfairly targeted by viral theories and manipulated clips? Or do you think the resurfaced wedding footage, the timeline contradictions, and all these strange coincidences are pointing towards something much bigger happening behind the scenes? Be honest. Because right now, people are choosing sides fast. Some viewers are saying the internet has crossed the line and turned speculation into obsession. Others believe too many details keep lining up for this to all be random. And honestly, that's exactly why this controversy keeps getting bigger every single day. So I need you in the comments right now. Don't just type Team Erika or Team Charlie. Actually explain your opinion. What moment changed your mind? Was it the resurfaced wedding footage? The pageant timeline accusations? The family tension rumors? Or the claims that unseen footage could still leak at any moment? Because the more people start connecting their own theories, the crazier this story becomes. And trust me, I have a feeling we are nowhere near the end of this. If even half the rumors floating around online are true, the next reveal could completely flip this entire narrative upside down again. So make sure you hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications right now. Because the second another clip, leak, or insider story drops, we're covering all of it immediately. And trust me when I say this, The next update? It might be the one that changes everything.